My brother's best friend moved in on a Friday night, carrying 2 suitcases, one crooked smile, and the complete destruction of my straight life. At least, that was how I remembered it later. At the time, I was just annoyed. My name is Callum Reed. I was 24, employed, tired, and very proud of my quiet apartment. I had a routine. Wake up at 6:30, coffee by 6:45, work by 8, come home, eat something that required zero emotional effort, sleep, repeat. It was not exciting, but it was mine. Then my little brother Theo called. "Callum," he said, way too sweetly. I already hated it. I leaned back in my chair. "What did you do?" Theo sounded offended immediately. "Why do you assume I did something?" I stared at my laptop screen. "Because you used my name like a hostage note." Theo went quiet for half a second. Then his voice became careful. "So you know how I am moving in this weekend?" I closed my eyes. "Yes, I own a calendar." Theo cleared his throat. "And you know how college housing is a disaster?" I closed my laptop slowly. Theo rushed into explanation mode. "Okay, before you say no, he is not weird." I rubbed my forehead. That sentence has never helped anyone. Theo lowered his voice, like that would make the request smaller. "He is my best friend." I looked at the ceiling. Still not helping. Theo exhaled. "He just needs a place for 2 weeks." I leaned back in my office chair. 2 weeks. That sounded harmless. That was how disasters got approved. "Theo," I said carefully, "I agreed to you moving in. Not you and a mystery freshman. He's 18. Same as me. He's not a child. You still left cereal in my shoes when you were 16. That was one time. It was 2 shoes." Theo sighed like I was the unreasonable one. "His name is Wesley. His apartment fell through. He starts classes Monday. He has nowhere to go." That part made me stop joking. I knew what it felt like to need help and hate asking for it. So I rubbed my forehead and made the mistake that changed everything. "Fine. 2 weeks." Theo gasped. "Really? 2 weeks?" I repeated. "Not 3. Not until things work out." 2. You're the best brother alive. I'm the only brother you have. Still counts. On Friday evening, Theo arrived with 3 boxes, 2 backpacks, and the energy of a golden retriever who had discovered caffeine. Behind him stood Wesley. And annoyingly, Wesley was not what I expected. I expected loud, messy, careless. The kind of guy who would walk into my apartment and immediately put his shoes on my couch. Instead, he stood by the door with his suitcase handle in one hand. Dark hair, clean hoodie, a quiet, nervous smile. "Hi," he said. "I'm Wesley. Thank you for letting me stay, Mr. Reed." I blinked. Theo burst out laughing. "Mr. Reed? Bro, he's 24, not ancient." Wesley's face turned pink. "Sorry, Callum then." For some reason, my apartment felt too warm. I cleared my throat. "Callum is fine." Wesley stepped inside, then paused. "Shoes off." I looked at Theo. Theo looked personally betrayed. "I've been your brother for 18 years, and you never asked that." "That's because you were born disrespectful." Wesley tried not to laugh. He failed. It was small, barely a sound, but I noticed it, which annoyed me even more. I gave them the rules while Theo dragged boxes across my living room like he was moving into a warehouse. No loud music after 11. Theo saluted. No leaving dishes in the sink. Theo looked away. No touching my work stuff. Wesley nodded seriously. And no drinking my coffee unless you're prepared to pay rent. Wesley looked at the bag of coffee on the counter, then back at me. "How expensive is emotional damage?" Theo wheezed. I stared at Wesley. He smiled like he regretted being funny. I should have found that irritating. I almost did. That night, Theo claimed the small bedroom. Wesley insisted on taking the couch until we figured out an air mattress. "I'm already causing trouble," he said. "The couch is fine." "You're not causing trouble," Theo said. "He is," I said. Wesley looked at me. I looked back. Then he smiled again. "Fair." Later, after Theo passed out in his room, I came out for water. The apartment was quiet. The city hummed outside the windows. Wesley was asleep on the couch, one arm tucked under his head, a college orientation folder open on his chest. His suitcase sat neatly beside him. His shoes were lined up by the door. Even his jacket was folded. It was ridiculous. No one was supposed to be that considerate while invading my life. I stood there longer than I should have. Then I grabbed the spare blanket from the closet and placed it over him. Wesley shifted slightly. "Thanks," he mumbled, half asleep. I froze. "You're awake?" Not enough to be embarrassed. I almost smiled. Almost. Go to sleep, Wesley. He opened one eye. Good night, Callum. I walked back to my room and shut the door. 2 weeks. That was all. 14 days, and my apartment would be normal again. Quiet again. Mine again. I repeated that until it sounded true. But somehow, from the other side of the wall, the place already felt different. The first morning with Theo and Wesley in my apartment began with a sound I had not heard in years. Someone singing badly in my kitchen. Not softly, not respectfully, like a raccoon had discovered pop music. I opened my bedroom door and stood in the hallway. Theo was at the stove, wearing one sock, holding a spatula like a microphone. Wesley sat at the counter, half awake, hiding his smile behind a mug. I stared at them. Theo turned around. Oh, good morning, landlord. I looked at the pan. What is burning? Theo lifted the spatula like he was presenting evidence. My breakfast. I leaned closer, then regretted it. That was eggs. Theo looked down at the pan. It was a concept. Wesley reached over and turned off the stove. Then he gave Theo a tired look. I told him the heat was too high. Theo pointed at Wesley with the spatula. He said that after the eggs became history. I walked to the coffee machine. Then I stopped. My coffee bag was open. Very open. The kind of open that meant betrayal. I looked at Theo. Theo immediately pointed at Wesley. Wesley lifted both hands. I only used 1 scoop. 1 scoop of that coffee costs more than your college meal plan. Wesley blinked. Is it coffee or jewelry? Theo laughed so hard, he almost dropped the spatula. I took a slow breath. House meeting. Now. Theo groaned from beside the stove. We have lived here for 12 hours. I pointed at the pan. And, somehow, my kitchen already looks like a freshman dorm with plumbing. Wesley stood up straight, as if he was about to face a judge. That made it harder to stay annoyed. I hated that. I grabbed a notepad from the drawer. Theo leaned toward Wesley and whispered, "He has a notepad." Wesley whispered back without taking his eyes off me. "Is this normal?" Theo shook his head. "No. This is Callum." I pointed the pen at both of them. Rule 1. No cooking experiments before 7 in the morning. Theo raised his hand. What counts as an experiment? If smoke is involved, it counts. Wesley nodded. Reasonable. Rule 2. Dishes go in the dishwasher. Theo looked offended. I know that. The spoon in your backpack last Thanksgiving says otherwise. Wesley turned to Theo. You kept a spoon in your backpack? Theo shrugged. For emergencies. What emergency requires a spoon? Yogurt. I closed my eyes. Rule 3. My coffee is off limits unless you ask. Wesley looked genuinely guilty. I can replace it. You do not have to replace it. I used it. I should replace it. Theo leaned on the counter. Careful, Wes. If you keep acting responsible, he might adopt you instead. Wesley smiled. I come with student debt. I almost laughed. Almost. That was becoming a problem. After breakfast, Theo left for campus orientation. He shouted goodbye from the hallway, forgot his charger, came back, forgot his student identification card, came back again, and finally left for real. The apartment became quiet. Too quiet. Wesley stood near the sink, washing the pan Theo had ruined. You do not have to do that, I said. He cooked. I clean. Theo did not cook. Theo committed breakfast. Wesley laughed under his breath. It was that same small laugh from the night before. The one that felt like it belonged in a different version of my life. He glanced at me. Do you work today? Half day. On a Saturday? Advertising does not care about weekends. That sounds depressing. It pays rent. He dried the pan carefully. Then he looked around the apartment. You keep this place really clean. I live alone. Well, you used to. There it was. A simple sentence. A harmless sentence. But it landed strangely. Because he was right. I used to live alone. By noon, Wesley had folded the blanket from the couch. By 1, he had stacked his textbooks neatly under the side table. By 2, he had labeled his grocery bag in the fridge with his name. Theo had never labeled anything in his life. Not even emotions. When I came back from work that afternoon, I expected noise. Instead, I found Wesley at the kitchen table. Laptop open. Notebook beside him. A fresh cup of coffee waiting near the edge of the counter. I looked at it. Then at him. He did not look up. I bought a new bag. I walked closer. It was the same brand. Same roast. Same ridiculous price. You did not have to do that. I know. Then why did you? This time, he looked at me. His expression was calm, but his ears were a little red. Because I broke a rule. I should have said thank you. A normal person would have said thank you. Instead, I picked up the cup and took a sip. It was perfect. Of course it was. He watched me carefully. Too strong. No, too weak. No, then why do you look upset? Because you remembered. Because you paid attention. Because you have been here less than a day, and somehow my apartment already knows your shape. I cleared my throat. It is fine. He smiled. High praise from Callum Reed. I looked away too fast. From the hallway, Theo's voice suddenly shouted. I heard that. Do not flirt with my brother. He scares easily. Wesley froze. I nearly dropped the coffee. Theo walked in, grinning like he had created comedy itself. I pointed at him. Orientation clearly taught you nothing. Theo kicked off his shoes by the door. Wesley looked down at them, then slowly looked at me. I looked at Theo. Theo sighed, then picked them up. Fine. House rules. Wesley hid another smile behind his mug, and for one dangerous second, I thought the apartment felt warmer with them in it. The first sign that something was wrong was not Wesley's smile. It was how fast I looked away. Monday morning arrived with rain tapping against the windows. Theo had his first official day of classes. Wesley had his too. I had work, emails, 3 client calls, and a strong desire to pretend my apartment had not changed overnight. That plan failed at 7:12 in the morning. I walked into the kitchen. Theo was standing by the fridge with a granola bar in his mouth. Wesley was by the counter, packing his backpack. His hair was still damp from the shower. His hoodie sleeves were pushed to his elbows. And for some stupid reason, my brain decided to notice all of that. Every detail, like it had been hired for the job. Theo snapped his fingers. Callum, I blinked. What? You were staring at the toaster. I looked down. There was no toaster in front of me. There was Wesley, which was much worse. I was thinking. Theo grinned. About toast. About whether college will make you less annoying. Science has not gone that far. Wesley laughed quietly. I reached for my coffee like it could save me. It could not. Wesley picked up a travel mug and slid it across the counter. I made yours already. I stared at the travel mug. You did what? Wesley pushed it closer, like this was normal. Coffee. Same amount as Saturday. Theo looked between us. Then his mouth slowly opened into a grin. Wow. He knows your coffee order after 2 days. I have known you my whole life, and I still think you drink sadness. I picked up the mug before Theo could keep smiling. That is because you lack observational skills. Wesley zipped his backpack. Then he added quietly, It is 2 sugars. No cream. Theo gasped dramatically. My own brother has secrets. It is coffee, I said. It is intimacy, Theo said. I nearly choked. Wesley's ears turned red. That should not have made me feel anything. It did. So I did what any reasonable adult would do. I became cold and busy. Both of you need to leave soon. Theo checked his phone. We have time. You have 8 minutes. Our building is a 10-minute walk. Then you are already late. Theo grabbed his bag. Landlord mode is terrifying. Wesley smiled at me. Thank you for the coffee warning. I did not warn you. You warned the room. I looked away again. That became my new habit. Looking away. Tuesday, Wesley studied at the kitchen table. I ate dinner standing at the counter. Not because I had to, because sitting across from him felt strange. He looked up from his textbook. You can sit, you know. I know. Is the chair broken? No. Is the floor angry? I gave him a look. He pressed his lips together, trying not to smile. Theo walked in with laundry in his arms. Why are you two talking like divorced neighbors? We are not, I said. Wesley looked down at his book. His smile stayed there. Small. Annoying. Unfair. Wednesday, I came home later than usual. The apartment smelled like pasta. Theo was on the couch, watching some campus video on his phone. Wesley stood by the stove, stirring sauce. He glanced over his shoulder. You are home. I took off my jacket. I live here. I noticed. Theo pointed at the pot. Wes made dinner because your frozen meals looked emotionally abandoned. They are efficient. They are square. Food can be square. Wesley turned off the stove. I made enough for you. I wanted to say I had already eaten. I had not. I wanted to say I was not hungry. My stomach betrayed me before I could lie. Theo laughed. Your body chose honesty. I sat down because refusing pasta would have been childish. Wesley placed a bowl in front of me. He did not make a big deal out of it. That was the problem. He never made anything feel like a big deal. He just noticed. He adjusted. He remembered. Like I was not difficult to care about. And that scared me more than it should have. By Thursday, I started leaving for work early. coming home late, taking calls in my room, avoiding the kitchen whenever Wesley was there. Theo noticed, of course. Theo noticed everything useless and nothing practical. That night, he cornered me near the hallway. Are you mad at Wesley? No. Are you mad at me? Usually. Different question. Are you being weird because of Wesley? I looked at him. Theo raised both hands. I am just saying. You act like he is a pop quiz. I am not acting like anything. You nearly apologized to the microwave yesterday because he walked in. That did not happen. It happened emotionally. Before I could answer, the front door opened. Wesley stepped in from the rain. His hoodie was dark with water. His hair clung to his forehead. He held his backpack against his chest and looked surprised to see us standing there. Sorry, he said. The bus was late. Theo rushed over. Dude, you are soaked. I am fine. You look like a sad college brochure. Wesley laughed, and I forgot what I was supposed to be doing. For 3 whole seconds, I just looked at him, at the rain on his lashes, at his tired smile, at the way my chest tightened for no reasonable reason. Theo slowly turned toward me. His eyebrows went up. I immediately grabbed a towel from the closet and threw it at Wesley. Dry your hair before you get water on the floor. Wesley caught it. His smile softened. Thanks, Callum. I turned away too fast. Again, that night, I stood in front of my bathroom mirror. The apartment was quiet. Theo was asleep. Wesley was on the couch. And I was 24 years old, whispering to my reflection like an idiot. I like women. That was true. It had always been true. But then I thought about Wesley laughing into his coffee. Wesley remembering my order. Wesley standing in my doorway with rain in his hair. I gripped the edge of the sink. I like women, I repeated. This time, it sounded less like a fact, and more like a man begging his own heart to behave. Friday should have been simple. Work, emails, a meeting I did not want, then home, then sleep. That was the plan. My plans were apparently comedy to the universe. By 9 in the morning, a client changed the entire campaign. By noon, my manager asked why I had not predicted that. By 3, my laptop froze during a presentation. By 6, I was still at my desk, staring at a message that said, "Can we revise this before Monday?" I wanted to reply with one word. No. Instead, I typed, of course, because adulthood was just lying politely with better grammar. When I finally got home, it was almost midnight. The hallway outside my apartment was quiet. My shoulders hurt. My eyes felt dry. And all I wanted was to walk inside without anyone speaking to me. I opened the door slowly. The living room lamp was still on. Wesley sat at the kitchen table. His textbook was open. His pencil rested between his fingers. And there was a small pot on the stove. He looked up. You are home. I took off my shoes. I noticed. His mouth curved a little. That almost smile. The dangerous one. Theo fell asleep 2 hours ago. Good for him. He tried to wake up. Did he? For 8 minutes. That got a tired breath out of me. Not quite a laugh, but close. He stood and walked to the stove. I made soup. I froze near the door. At midnight. At 10. So now it is historic soup. It has survived worse than your attitude. I looked at him. He looked back, calm and serious. Then he lifted one eyebrow. I hated how much that helped. I am not hungry, I said. My stomach made a very clear sound. Wesley glanced down, then back up. Your stomach is more honest than you. I am going to fire it. Please do not. It seems like the most reasonable part of you. I wanted to argue. Instead, I walked to the table. He put a bowl in front of me. Chicken soup. Still warm. Not too salty. Not too plain. Annoyingly perfect. He sat across from me, but did not stare. That made it easier to eat. For a while, neither of us spoke. The apartment felt different at night. Softer. Smaller. Like the city outside had turned the volume down. He tapped his pencil once. Bad day. I swallowed. Normal day. That was not what I asked. I looked at him. He did not smile this time. He just waited. That was worse. People usually filled silence with advice. Or jokes. Or their own problems. Wesley simply left space. And somehow, I stepped into it. The client changed everything. He nodded. My manager acted like I should have known before the client knew. That sounds unfair. It is work. Work can still be unfair. I stared at the bowl. Steam curled between us. I am fine. Wesley leaned back slightly. You say that a lot. Because I am. Are you? The question was quiet. No pressure. No drama. Just Wesley, sitting in my kitchen at midnight, looking at me like I was allowed to answer honestly. I told myself that was why my chest felt strange. I was tired. That was all. Anyone could feel softer after warm soup in a quiet room. Comfort was not love. Comfort was just comfort. At least, that was what I wanted to believe. I pushed the spoon around the bowl. When Theo was younger, Mom worked nights sometimes. Wesley did not move. So I learned how to handle things. Dinner, homework, bills when I got older, his school forms, doctor appointments. All of it. My voice sounded strange, like it had walked out before asking permission. Theo thinks I am strict because I enjoy it. I let out a small breath. I do not. I just do not know how to stop watching for problems. Wesley's expression softened. Not pity. That would have made me shut down. Just understanding. That must be exhausting. I laughed once. It had no humor in it. Congratulations. You diagnosed being an older brother. Wesley looked toward Theo's closed bedroom door. He is lucky. He is annoying. He can be both. That one did make me smile. Barely. Wesley saw it. But he was kind enough not to celebrate. He stood up and took his own mug from the counter. Then he said, "You know, you do not have to be okay all the time." I stopped eating. The words were simple, almost too simple, but they landed somewhere I had not let anyone touch in years. I looked down fast. Do they teach that in freshman orientation? No. I failed the class on minding my own business. I gave him a tired look. He smiled into his mug. The silence came back. This time, it did not feel empty. It felt safe. I finished the soup slowly. Wesley returned to his textbook. I should have gone to bed. Instead, I stayed at the table. Not talking. Not pretending. Just sitting there while the rain tapped against the window again. After a while, Wesley's pencil stopped moving. I looked over. He had fallen asleep with his cheek against his arm. His notes were neat. His hoodie sleeve covered half his hand. I stood quietly and took the spare blanket from the couch. When I draped it over his shoulders, he shifted. "Callum," he murmured. "Sleep. Did the soup help?" I looked at him for a second too long. Then I said the safest truth I had. "Yes." His eyes stayed closed. "Good." I turned off the kitchen light. And as I walked back to my room, I realized something terrifying. The soup was not the dangerous part. The quiet was not the dangerous part. The dangerous part was how easy it had become to let Wesley see me tired, and how much I wanted him to stay awake for me again. By Saturday morning, I had a new problem. Wesley had friends. This should not have surprised me. He was 18. He had classes. He had orientation events. He had a life outside my apartment. Normal people understood that. I told myself I understood it too. I was not jealous. I was responsible. Wesley was Theo's friend. He was new to campus. Someone had to make sure he was not getting pulled into the wrong crowd. That sounded mature. Almost believable. I was making coffee when Wesley walked into the kitchen, freshly showered, wearing a clean blue hoodie and fixing the strap of his backpack. Theo was at the table, eating cereal directly from the box. I looked at Wesley's backpack a little too long. Going somewhere. Wesley paused with one hand on the strap. "Campus." I tried to sound casual. "On a Saturday?" Theo pointed his spoon at me from across the table. "Old man discovers college students have weekend plans." I ignored him. Wesley set his phone on the counter. "A few people from my writing class invited me to study at the library." Theo snorted. "Study? Sure." Wesley gave him a look. "We are literally going to the library. People can flirt near books." The spoon froze halfway to Theo's mouth. Then he grinned. "Oh, wait. Is someone flirting?" Wesley's face changed. Just a little. Not enough for Theo to notice. Enough for me to notice. That was becoming another problem. "I do not know," Wesley said. Theo leaned forward, clearly enjoying himself. "So yes." Wesley shook his head quickly. "No." Theo smiled wider. "So maybe." Wesley grabbed his phone too fast. His voice came out a little sharper than before. "It is just a study group." I poured coffee into my mug. The sound was louder than necessary. Theo looked at the mug, then at me, then back at Wesley. His eyes narrowed. I hated when Theo thought. It was rare, but dangerous. Wesley checked the time. "I should go? I do not want to be late." "You need a ride?" Theo asked. "No. The bus stop is 2 blocks away." I spoke before my brain approved it. "I can drive you." The kitchen went quiet. Theo slowly lowered his cereal box. Wesley looked at me. "You do not have to." "I know. It is only 2 blocks." "I know that too." Theo smiled like a criminal with evidence. "Wow, Callum. Very generous. Very brotherly." I turned toward him. "You are eating cereal from stolen property." "This is my cereal. The box is from my pantry." Our pantry, Theo said. I pointed toward his bedroom. Disappear. Theo laughed, but stood up. Fine. I will leave you two responsible adults alone. The word adults landed strangely. Wesley was legally an adult. I knew that. Theo was too. But Wesley was also my brother's best friend. A college freshman. Someone staying under my roof. That reminder sat in my chest like a warning sign. I stepped back. Actually, the bus is fine. Wesley blinked. Something passed across his face. Then he nodded. Right. The bus is fine. I wanted to explain. I wanted to say the problem was not him. It was me. It was the way I looked at him too long. The way I noticed his coffee order. The way I remembered the rain in his hair. Instead, I lifted my mug. Have fun studying. Wesley gave me a small smile. Thanks. The door closed behind him. Theo appeared instantly from the hallway. You are acting weird. I am making coffee. You almost offered to drive him 2 blocks. It was raining. Theo looked out the window. The sun was shining. I took a sip of coffee. It was emotionally raining. Theo laughed so hard, he bent over the counter. I walked away before he could say anything else. For the rest of the day, I was extremely productive. I answered emails. I cleaned the bathroom. I organized the drawer with batteries, tape, and mysterious keys no one ever used. Then I checked the clock. Only 40 minutes had passed. By 5, Wesley still was not home. By 6, Theo ordered pizza. By 7, I was sitting in the living room with the television on mute. Theo walked in and stared. Are you watching silent basketball? I am thinking. The players are also thinking. Probably about why no one can hear them. I raised the volume. Too loud. Theo flinched. Subtle. At 7:43, the front door opened. Wesley came in laughing at something on his phone. Not smiling. Laughing. Soft and real. The kind of laugh I had started to recognize. The kind I had not caused. A name flashed on his screen before he turned it down. Maddie. Probably from the study group. Probably normal. Definitely none of my business. That was the problem. My brain knew it was none of my business. My chest had apparently missed the meeting. Hey, Wesley said, taking off his shoes. Theo looked up from the pizza box with a grin. How was your library date? Wesley stopped near the door. It was not a date. I looked at the television. Wesley looked at me. I felt it. I hated that I felt it. Theo grabbed another slice, refusing to let the joke die. Did the books flirt back? Wesley laughed, but his eyes flicked toward me again. No, but someone invited me to a movie tomorrow. My hand tightened around the remote. The basketball game changed to a cooking show. Theo looked at the screen, then at me, then at the remote. His smile slowly disappeared. Wesley noticed too. Of course he did. He always noticed. It is just a group thing, he said. I stood up. Great. Good for you. My voice sounded normal. Too normal. That was how I knew it was not. I walked to the kitchen and opened the refrigerator for no reason. Theo followed me with his eyes. Wesley stayed by the door. For a second, nobody spoke. Then Theo called out, too cheerful. Callum, are you mad because Wesley has friends? I turned around. No, Theo pointed at the silent cooking show. You changed basketball to cupcakes with emotional force. Wesley looked down, hiding a smile. I closed the refrigerator. I am not mad. Then why are you holding the orange juice like it owes you money? I looked at my hand. I was holding the orange juice. I put it back. Wesley walked into the kitchen slowly. You do not have to worry. I cleaned my part of the couch before I left. That is not what I was worried about. The words escaped too fast. Wesley went still. Theo stopped chewing. I heard my own heartbeat. Loud. Ridiculous. I cleared my throat. I mean, do whatever you want. You are an adult. Wesley's expression softened, but he did not push. Right. That was worse. I wanted him to tease me. I wanted him to make it easy. Instead, he gave me space. Again. Later that night, Theo went to bed early. Wesley stayed at the table, reviewing notes. I sat on the couch, pretending to read. After 10 minutes, Wesley spoke. Callum. I looked up. Yes. Are you okay? I almost laughed, because that question was starting to ruin me. I looked at him, at the folded sleeves, at the pencil between his fingers, at the careful distance he always kept. I am fine. Wesley nodded. But this time, he did not believe me. And neither did I. Sunday morning should have felt peaceful. Theo was still asleep. The apartment was quiet. The coffee machine made its small, familiar sound. And for once, nothing was on fire. Then Wesley walked out of the bathroom with his phone in his hand. He looked different. Not happy exactly. Not sad either. Just careful. I knew that look. It was the look people wore before saying something that changed the temperature of a room. "Callum," he said. I lifted my mug. "That sounds serious." "It is not bad." "That sentence usually means it is bad." Wesley smiled a little. Then he looked toward Theo's bedroom door. "I got an email from the housing portal." My hand stopped around the mug. "They found something?" "A room near campus. It is not fancy, but it is available." "That is good." My voice came out too fast. "Too clean. Too adult." Wesley nodded. "Yeah, it is good." "When?" "This coming Saturday. If I want it." The coffee tasted wrong. I looked down at the counter. "That is convenient." The word landed between us. Cold. Flat. Stupid. Wesley's face did not change much, but his eyes did. Just a little. "Yeah," he said. "Convenient." Before I could fix it, Theo's door opened. He stepped out with messy hair and one eye half closed. Why does the air feel like someone failed a math test? Wesley looked at him. "I got a room near campus." Theo woke up immediately. "Seriously? Seriously? Dude, that is great." Theo rushed over and hugged him. Wesley laughed, but it sounded thinner than usual. I stood there with my coffee, like a man watching someone pack away a piece of his home. Theo turned to me. "Is that not great?" I forced a nod. "Great." Wesley looked at me for 1 second, then looked away first. That had never happened before. The rest of the day was strange. Wesley still helped clean after breakfast, but he did not refill my coffee. He still sat at the kitchen table, but he used his headphones. He still smiled when Theo joked, but he stopped looking in my direction to see if I would smile too. I told myself that was normal. He had a room now. He was leaving. He was doing exactly what he was supposed to do. I could not ask him to stay, not because I did not want to, because wanting was not enough. Wesley needed a real room, a real college life, a place that did not depend on my confusion. That was the adult answer. I hated the adult answer. That evening, Theo ordered burgers. He called it a celebration. Wesley sat across from me. Theo sat between us, eating fries like nothing had cracked. "So," Theo said, "campus life begins for real. No more couch kingdom." Wesley smiled. The couch was comfortable. "It was not," I said. Both of them looked at me. I picked up a fry. "I mean, it is a couch. It is not meant for sleeping." Wesley nodded. "Right." I hated that word. "Right." It sounded like a door closing politely. Theo narrowed his eyes at me. "You are being weird again. I am eating dinner. You are chewing like you have legal concerns." Wesley laughed softly. For 1 second, it felt normal. Then his phone lit up. "Maddie," the name from the night before. Theo leaned over. "Is that the library movie group?" Wesley picked up the phone. "Yeah, they are asking about Friday." I looked at my burger. "Friday, the day before he would move out." Theo grinned. "You should go. Make friends. Have a freshman life." Wesley glanced at me. I did not know what he wanted me to say, so I said the safest thing. "Sounds good." Wesley's smile became smaller. "Yeah, maybe." After dinner, he washed his plate immediately, then disappeared to the living room, where his suitcase still sat beside the couch. He opened it. Not all the way, just enough to start folding a few shirts. I stood in the kitchen and watched. Theo came beside me, quiet for once. "You know," he said, "you can be happy for him without looking like someone." "Stole your car." "I am happy for him." Theo looked at me. "No, you are performing happy." "Badly." I turned away. He needed a place. Now he has one. That is not what I said. "Theo." "What?" "Drop it." He studied my face. Then his voice softened. "Callum, Wesley is my friend." "I know. And you are my brother." "I know that too. So whatever this weird thing is, please do not make him feel like he did something wrong." The words hit harder because Theo was not joking. I looked toward the living room. Wesley was folding his hoodie, carefully, like he was trying not to take up too much space. "He did not do anything wrong," I said. Theo sighed. "Then maybe stop acting like he did." That night, the apartment became too quiet again. Theo went to bed. Wesley stayed on the couch, scrolling through apartment details on his phone. I stood outside my bedroom door. For 10 full seconds, I told myself to go inside. Then I walked toward him. He looked up. "Need something?" "Yes." That was the problem. I needed too many things I had no right to ask for. I needed him to keep making coffee. I needed him to ask about my day. I needed him to stay at the kitchen table, filling the apartment with pencil sounds and quiet laughter. Instead, I said, "The building manager can be annoying about moving carts. I can ask tomorrow." Wesley blinked, then smiled politely. "Thanks. That would help." Polite. Not warm. Not teasing. Just polite. I nodded. Good night. Good night, Callum. I went to my room, closed the door, then stood there in the dark. The apartment was finally becoming mine again. Quiet, organized, simple, exactly how I wanted it. So why did it feel like something important was already halfway gone? By Friday night, Wesley's suitcase was no longer beside the couch. It was open. That was worse. Open meant real. Open meant folded shirts, packed textbooks, and a toothbrush that would not be in my bathroom tomorrow morning. I stood in the kitchen, pretending to read an email on my phone. The email had 3 sentences. I had been staring at it for 6 minutes. Theo had gone out to meet some classmates. He called it networking. He was wearing cologne and his lucky sneakers. So I called it lying. That left me and Wesley alone. The apartment felt too quiet. Wesley walked in holding 2 mugs. He placed one in front of me. Tea, he said. I looked at it. You switched from coffee to tea. It is 8:30 at night. Your generation has become weak. Wesley smiled. Your generation says things like your generation. I am 24. Exactly. Practically a historic landmark. I should have smiled. I almost did. But then I saw the cardboard boxes near the couch. The smile disappeared before it happened. Wesley noticed. Of course he noticed. He always noticed. He leaned against the counter, leaving careful space between us. Wesley watched me over the rim of his mug. You have been quiet today. I kept my eyes on my phone. I have work. Wesley did not move. You always have work. I locked the screen and set the phone down. Then I am consistent. He said my name softly. Callum. The way he said my name made me look up. Not joking. Not teasing. Just soft. And tired. I know you are avoiding this, he said. I set my phone down. I forced myself to sound confused. Avoiding what? Wesley looked down at his tea. Me leaving. I laughed once. Too sharp. You were always supposed to leave. Wesley nodded slowly. I know. I crossed my arms before he could see my hands. Then there is nothing to avoid. Wesley looked down at his mug. His fingers tightened around it. For the first time since he moved in, he looked his age. 18. Young, but not childish. Nervous, but still brave enough to stand there. I did not mean to make things complicated, he said. That sentence went straight through me. You did not. I think I did. No, my answer came too fast. He looked at me. His eyes were steady now. Then why did you start treating me like a problem? I had no answer. Because the truth sounded impossible. Because you made coffee feel dangerous. Because you remembered too much. Because when you leave tomorrow, this place will stop feeling alive. I crossed my arms. That is not fair. I know. His voice stayed calm. That is why I am saying it now before I go. The kitchen light hummed softly above us. Outside, a car passed on the street. Below, everything else held still. Wesley took a breath. I like you, Callum. The words were quiet. No drama. No pressure. No escape. My whole body forgot how to move. He looked away first. Then he smiled, but it hurt to see. I know. Bad timing. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Wesley nodded like he had expected that. It is okay. My voice finally came back, rough and useless. No, it is not. He looked at me again. It is. I know this is complicated. You are Theo's brother. I am his friend. I have been staying here. You gave me a place when I needed one. He swallowed. So I am not asking for anything. That made my chest ache. Wesley, I mean it. His voice stayed gentle, but firmer. I am moving out tomorrow. I will give you space. I will not make this weird for Theo. I will not make you feel responsible for my feelings. I stared at him. He was doing it again. Being careful, being kind, taking his own heart and folding it neatly, like one of his shirts. Like it should not take up too much room. You should be mad at me, I said. His brows pulled together. Why? Because I have been cold. You have been scared. The answer was so fast, I almost hated him for it. I looked away. I am not scared. Wesley gave me the smallest smile. Callum, you label batteries by size. You are scared of chaos. That is organization. That is fear with a label maker. I almost laughed. Then I did not. Because his eyes were shiny. And he was still smiling like he was trying to protect me from feeling guilty. I should go finish packing, he said. He picked up his mug, then paused at the doorway. For what it is worth, I liked being here. My throat tightened. I thought you hated the couch. I did. He glanced around the apartment. But I liked coming home to this place. Then he looked at me. Just once. I like coming home to you. He left before I could answer. The kitchen stayed warm. His tea sat untouched beside my hand. And I finally understood the truth. Wesley had not ruined my life. He had only walked into the parts of it I had kept locked. And tomorrow, he was leaving. With the key. Saturday morning arrived too bright. The kind of bright that made everything look normal. That felt insulting. Wesley was already awake when I came out. His suitcase stood by the door. His backpack leaned against it. The blanket from the couch was folded neatly on top. Of course it was. Even while leaving, Wesley was polite enough to erase himself carefully. Theo stood in the kitchen, pretending to be cheerful. "Big day," he said. His voice was too loud. Nobody answered. Wesley looked at me. "Morning. Morning." That was all I had. One word. After everything he had said last night. After he had handed me the truth with both hands. I gave him one word. Theo looked between us. His smile faded. "Well," he said slowly, "this is the warm family energy I hoped for." Wesley gave a small laugh. I wanted to thank Theo for breaking the silence. I wanted to throw a dish towel at him. Both felt possible. Wesley picked up one box. "The move-in time is 10. I looked at the clock. It was 9:12. "I can drive," I said. The words came out before I planned them. Wesley paused. "You do not have to." "I know." Theo stared at me. Then at Wesley. Then at me again. For once, he did not joke. Wesley nodded. "Okay. Thank you." The drive to campus took 15 minutes. Theo sat in the back seat, holding a lamp like it was a passenger. No one said much. At a red light, Theo cleared his throat. "So, Wesley, do you want us to help unpack?" Wesley looked out the window. "You can carry boxes. I do not trust you with organization." Theo gasped. "I am deeply organized. You pack socks with cereal." It was space efficient. I almost smiled. Almost. Wesley looked at me from the passenger seat. For half a second, the car felt like it had before. Coffee, soup, bad jokes, quiet evenings. Then the light turned green, and the moment moved on without me. His new room was small. A simple campus apartment. One bed, one desk, one narrow window looking toward a parking lot. Theo complained immediately. "This room is smaller than Callum's emotional range." Wesley laughed. I set a box on the floor. "That is not a measurement." Theo looked at Wesley. "It should be." Wesley smiled, but his eyes were tired. He thanked us after the last box. Very properly. Very safely. Like we were just people who had helped him move. Not people who had changed each other by accident. At the door, Theo hugged him. "Text me if the mattress is terrible. It is college housing. The mattress already lost." Then Wesley turned to me. There was a careful distance between us. "Thank you for letting me stay." I hated how final it sounded. "You were not that terrible." His mouth curved softly. High praise. Theo stepped into the hallway first. I stayed 1 second longer. Wesley looked at me. I looked back. The words were there. "I am sorry. I miss you already. I am scared because I think I want you to stay." But my voice failed again. So I only nodded. Wesley nodded too. Then he closed the door. The apartment was silent when Theo and I got home. Not peaceful. Silent. The couch looked too neat. The kitchen table looked too empty. The coffee bag sat untouched on the counter. I hated all of it. Theo dropped onto a chair and watched me stand there. "You are going to pretend this is fine, are you not?" I opened the refrigerator, then closed it. Theo raised one hand. "Do not say fine." I looked at him. I was not going to. "You absolutely were." I hated that he knew me that well. Theo leaned back. Classic Callum. 5 stars. No emotional growth. I looked at him. He did not smile. That made the room heavier. "Theo. No. I am saying this once." He sat forward. "Wesley is my best friend. I know. And you are my brother. I know. And whatever happened between you two, I am not stupid. You are not confused because you do not care. You are confused because you care too much." I looked away first. Theo's voice softened. "He likes you." My chest tightened. He told me. Theo went completely still. Even his usual sarcasm disappeared. When I gripped the edge of the counter. "Last night." Theo's expression changed slowly. "And what did you say?" "Nothing." The answer sat between us. Theo understood before I spoke. "Oh, Callum." It was not judgment. That made it worse. I gripped the edge of the counter. I did not know what to say. You always know what to say at work. That is different. Because clients are easier than feelings? Yes. Theo sighed. Then he stood and came closer. "Listen to me. Do not go after him because the apartment feels empty. I am not. Do not go after him because you are lonely. I am not. And do not go after him just because you want to prove something about yourself. That one stopped me. Theo's eyes were serious. If you like him, be honest. If you are confused, be honest. But do not make Wesley your experiment. The words hurt. Because they were fair. Because Theo loved us both. Because for the first time, he sounded less like my little brother. And more like someone protecting his friend. I swallowed. I think. My voice cracked on the smallest word. Theo waited. I looked at the couch. At the place Wesley had slept. At the folded blanket. At the empty corner where his suitcase had been. I think I am in love with him. Theo exhaled slowly. Then he rubbed both hands over his face. Of course you are. I blinked. That is your response. What do you want me to say? Congratulations on discovering emotions at 24. Despite everything, I laughed. Once. Small. Theo pointed at me. There he is. Then his face softened again. Go talk to him. I hesitated. What if he does not want to see me? Theo picked up my car keys from the counter and placed them in my hand. Then you respect that. I looked down at the keys. And if he does? Theo shrugged. Then do not be stupid. I closed my fingers around the keys. For years, I had been good at handling problems. Bills. Deadlines. Responsibilities. Theo. But Wesley was not a problem. He was the answer I had been too scared to read. So I walked to the door. And this time, I did not look away. I drove back to campus with both hands on the wheel. Like that could keep my heart from doing something stupid. Theo had been right. That was the annoying part. Theo was rarely right in useful ways. Usually, he was right about pizza toppings or which elevator smelled weird. But this time, he had looked at me and said the exact thing I needed to hear. Do not make Wesley your experiment. So when I parked outside Wesley's new building, I stayed in the car for a full minute. Then 2. Then 3. My phone buzzed. Theo, do not sit in the parking lot like a dramatic ghost. I stared at the message. Then another one arrived. Also apologize first. You are bad at beginnings. I almost laughed. Then I got out. Wesley's building smelled like new paint and laundry detergent. A student in slippers held the elevator for me. Floor 3rd, please. My voice sounded too calm. That was suspicious. By the time I stood outside Wesley's door, my throat felt tight. I knocked before I could escape. There was a pause. Then footsteps. The door opened. Wesley stood there in a plain gray shirt, holding a stack of folded sheets. His eyes widened. Callum. I forgot every sentence I had practiced. Which was impressive. There had only been 3. Hi, I said. He looked past me, confused. Is Theo with you? No, oh. The hallway became very quiet. He adjusted the folded sheets in his arms. Did I forget something at the apartment? I forced myself not to look away. Yes. His face changed. What? I swallowed. Me. Wesley stared at me. Then he blinked once. That was either very brave or very embarrassing. I let out a nervous breath. It can be both. His mouth twitched, but he did not smile fully. Good. I did not deserve easy. Can I talk to you? I asked. Wesley looked down the hallway, then back at me. You can. He stepped aside. His room was still half unpacked. Boxes near the desk. A lamp on the floor. Textbooks stacked by the window. It looked temporary, like he had not decided if he belonged there yet. I stood near the door. I did not move closer. That mattered. I am sorry, I said. Wesley set the sheets on the bed. For what? For making you feel like you did something wrong. His expression softened, but he stayed quiet. I kept going before fear could interrupt me. You were kind to me. You noticed things. You made coffee. You waited up when I had a bad day. And instead of thanking you properly, I acted like you were a problem. Wesley looked down. You were confused. Yes. I took a breath. But that does not excuse being cold. He looked at me then. Really looked. And are you still confused? That question could have ruined me. So I answered carefully. I do not know exactly what word fits me right now. Wesley's face gave nothing away. I forced myself not to rush. But I know this. I missed you before you even left. I hated the quiet after you were gone. And when you said you liked coming home to me, I wanted to ask you to stay. Wesley's eyes grew shiny. He looked toward the window. Callum, I am not asking you to move back. That made him look at me again. I am not here because the apartment feels empty. I am not here because I am lonely. And I am not here because I want to test who I am with your feelings. His fingers curled at his sides. I stepped no closer. I am here because I like you. Because I think I am falling for you. And because you deserve to hear that from me while you still had a choice to say no. Wesley was silent for so long that I heard voices laughing somewhere down the hall. Then he let out a small breath. You really talked to Theo. He threatened my emotional development. That sounds like him. He also said I was bad at beginnings. Wesley finally smiled. He was correct. I know. The smile faded into something gentler. His voice became softer. So what are you asking me, Callum? My heart climbed into my throat. I kept my feet where they were. A date. His eyes searched mine. A real one. I nodded. Yes. Not in my apartment. Not because you needed a place to stay. Not because of Theo. Just us. Wesley looked down, and for one awful second, I thought I was too late. Then he said, Where? I almost forgot how breathing worked. Dinner. That sounds like a job interview. Coffee. You are emotionally attached to coffee. A walk by the river? He smiled wider. That one sounds like you asked Theo for help. I did not. Wesley raised one eyebrow. I asked him where people go when they have feelings. Wesley laughed. Soft. Warm. The sound I had missed more than I wanted to admit. Okay, he said. Okay. One date. I nodded too many times. One date. And Callum? Yes. If you panic halfway through, tell me. Do not turn into a refrigerator again. I will try. Good. We ended up at a small diner 2 blocks from campus. Not because it was romantic, because it was open, and because I had forgotten that asking someone on a date also meant choosing a place to go. Wesley slid into the booth across from me and looked at the laminated menu. Very smooth, he said. I am new. To dating? To dating someone who knows my coffee order better than my own brother. His smile softened. That smile was dangerous. Not because it made my heart race. Because it made me want to be honest again. The waitress came by with water. He ordered fries and a grilled cheese. I ordered black coffee. He looked at my coffee like it had personally offended him. That is dinner? I wrapped one hand around the mug. That is emotional support in a mug. He leaned forward. You need actual food. I tried to look like a responsible adult. I am 24. I can choose my dinner. He did not blink. Then choose better. I stared at him. He stared back. 5 seconds later, I added a burger. Wesley smiled into his water. Good choice. I should have felt embarrassed. Instead, I felt warm. The kind of warm that did not come from coffee. For a while, we talked about ordinary things. His classes, Theo's terrible laundry habits, my job, the strange elevator smell in Wesley's new building. Nothing dramatic, nothing huge, but that was what made it feel real. Wesley was not sitting across from me because he needed my couch. I was not sitting across from him because I was responsible for him. We were there because we had chosen to be. Halfway through dinner, Wesley looked down at his fries. So what happens now? I put my coffee down. We go slow. His eyes lifted to mine. Slow. Yes. You have school. I have work. Theo has the emotional subtlety of a marching band. And I still have things to understand about myself. Wesley nodded carefully. I continued before fear could make me sound colder than I felt. But I do not want to disappear again. I do not want to make you guess. And I do not want to hide behind confusion every time something feels new. Wesley's expression softened. That is a good answer. It took me 24 years. That is a slow answer. I said we were going slow. He laughed. And this time, I let myself enjoy being the reason. After dinner, we walked by the river near campus. The air was cool. The sidewalk was quiet. Students passed us in groups, laughing under streetlights. Wesley walked beside me with his hands in his hoodie pocket. Close, but not too close. I liked that he did not rush me. I liked it even more that he did not leave. After a few minutes, he glanced at me. You are thinking very loudly. I am trying not to ruin the date. You have only checked your phone once. That is progress. That was Theo. What did he say? I showed him the message. If you mess this up, I am changing the Wi-Fi password. Wesley laughed so hard he had to stop walking. I watched him under the streetlight. His eyes bright, his smile open, and I thought about how strange life was. 2 weeks ago, he had been a suitcase by my door. Now he was the person I wanted to walk beside slowly. Not because I had figured everything out, but because I finally wanted to. Wesley started walking again. This time, his hand brushed mine. Neither of us said anything. A few steps later, I offered my hand. No big speech. No crisis. Just my hand, open between us. Wesley looked at it. Then he smiled. You are sure? I breathed in, then nodded. I am sure I want to try. His fingers slipped into mine. Warm, careful, real. We kept walking. Slowly, like we had time. When I dropped Wesley off at his building, He did not let go right away. "Good first date," he said. "For a beginner? For you. That sounds insulting. It is affectionate. I will accept it under protest." He smiled. Then he squeezed my hand once before stepping back. "Good night, Callum." "Good night, Wesley." I waited until he got inside. Then I walked back to my car. My phone buzzed again. "Theo, are you still alive?" I typed back, "Yes." A second later, another message came. "Did you ruin it?" I looked up at Wesley's window. The light had just turned on. For once, I did not feel like running from the answer. So I typed, "No." I asked him on a second date. Theo replied almost instantly. Finally, personal growth. I laughed alone in the parking lot. Not because everything was simple. It was not. I still had questions. I still had fear. I still had a life that no longer fit inside the neat little box I had built for it. But Wesley had not destroyed that box. He had simply opened it. And when I stepped outside, the world felt warmer than I expected.